strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beat, them smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your
ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beat and smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brother, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast.
What is going on? What is going on? I'm back. I am back. Live again. Cortez, yeah, I'm back. We have a great show tonight. I'm going to be ending the show at 7 p.m. That's why I started around 5. And I'm just going to make sure my sound is good. Yeah, it's good. So the name of the game is the double standard. The double standard between men and women. And you know as well as I know that on social media, there's a lot of double standards. But what I need you to do real quick, hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button because it helps the algorithm and it helps the channel grow.
Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
I just had to drop that in there. I actually edited that up for my YouTube channel. But before we get into the double standard, we need to address the failed swirlers that are online talking about I love black men. There is an I love black men dilemma right now. And if you go on social media, especially on Twitter, there's an account by the name of Chaz Showerdine. And I'm noticing that she's posting these videos about black women saying, I love black men, I love black men. But in reality, they're failed swirlers. Right. They won't fool us. Exactly. Because if you've seen any of my videos, the majority of women do not like black men. If we go by the 80-20 rule, that rule simply says 80%, if 80% of women don't like black men, but only 20% of women do like black, but we do love black men. Hey, Sean, what's up, Shogo Mankashima? We do love black men. Well, what we're saying is that there's an 80-20 rule. The 80% that don't outweigh the 20% that do. So I'm going to play a video. I'm going to play 2 videos. And then we're going to discuss each one. So here we go. Here's the first video.
And that they date a lot outside of their race.
Wait. Let me remove this. They done changed the
certain
screen.
specific set of qualities, you probably should be dating a white man. He said that.
Here we go. So this is video number 1.
Okay, real quick, y'all. Is the universe saying that I should be dating a white man? So peep this. I just saw a TikTok from Amar White. Now, side note, if you're black and single, you need to be following Amar White because he has all the tips and tricks for dating as a black woman. Anyway, he said on the TikTok that black love is a scam because black women outnumber black men and that they date a lot outside of their race.
Wrong. And if you've been a follower of this channel for any amount of time, that is a lie that black women tell. Because you have to do the math. If there's billions of men on the planet, and even though black men are more likely to date interracially than black men, I mean, if black men are more likely than black women to date interracially, that does not mean that overpowers the 80% of black men that date black women. Although I would have a plan to, yeah, exactly. And I actually did a show about this already. I'm going to have to find it and link it in the description. But yeah, they do that. And then it all started with the Moynihan Report in 1971. And if you haven't read that report, I highly recommend you read it. So, continuing on with the video.
And so if you have a certain specific set of qualities, you probably should be dating a white man. He said that if you have a septum piercing and big glasses, then white men are probably for you. And
She doesn't know white men. White men, and I've been alive for a long time. I've been alive for a while now, and I have yet to see a white man with a sister that has any type of septum piercings at all. Black men would date a black woman with a septum piercing because you can walk outside and see it. But no, you ain't gonna see a white man date a black woman that's number one, kind of overweight, number two, septum piercing. Some white guys don't even like tattoos. If you notice the women that white men typically date, or they have their ears pierced, they're fit, they're athletic, they eat kale and greens, and they drink sparkling water. Those are the types of women that white men typically date. And there's a book, I'm going to see if I can find it. And I've mentioned this on my show multiple times. Dating Divide. This is a book that deals with data behind dating. It looks at the digital footprint of men and women and their natural dating habits. And you read this book, you will be surprised at the information that you will find now. Let's continue.
I'm like, wait a minute. I have two of those qualities and all I date is nignog. So I'm like, maybe he's onto something, but I love black men, so I just keep it in the back of my mind. Now, I was just in Costco and I saw two interracial couples with black women and white men. I'm like, okay, period, shouts out to y'all. Then I look on my phone and it says 555 on the dot. Now, y'all know me. I'm an astrology girly. I'm a numerology girly. If the universe is going to speak, it's going to be through numbers. So I'm like, 555 on my phone and two interracial couples? Like, what does this mean? So now I'm thinking, is the universe sending me a sign? I don't want to date a white man, no. I want somebody I can say the N-word with. Ugh.
So, that if that's... no. I'm sorry. She said, I want to be with somebody that I can say the N-word with. So that's all you want to date a black man for, is the ability to say the N-word, and that's it. That's oh man, that's funny. That made me laugh. And here's the other video, because a lot of black women want to date white men. And here's the thing. We've gone into the stats and the data and the things regarding it, but 0.5% of white men date black women. That's not a lot of people. So if 0.05% or 0.5% of white men date black women, the majority of women are going to be dating black men. But here's the kicker. You can't go out and date nignogs, decide that I'm done with black men, go out and try and date a white guy, swirl and fail, then try to come back. That's the issue. If you want to date white guys, knock yourself out. Be my guest. Her nickname is Smash. her nickname. Exactly. For a short time, not a long time. But if you want to date a white guy, go do it. But not many of you will. And then this is what happens when you date white guys, you swirl and you fail. This is what happens.
When you're happy and when you're mad. Black man, I love you. All of you. When you're sad, when you're happy, and when you're mad. I love you, black man. We love you, black man. Whatever it is that you're going through mentally, I see you. I acknowledge you. And I'm praying for you. I love you, black man. 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 Okay.
And see, this is the thing. If you love black men as a black woman, that's great. We appreciate it. We do. However, if you go out, date a bunch of nigga-nogs, then you get upset when you date nigga-nogs. Yeah, she's using her woke voice. Exactly. Now you want to be woke. Now that you went out and swirled and failed, now you come back to the community and you want to be pro-black, black empowerment, wearing koofies and kente cloths and all that. Like, no. And that's what we're saying. And that's what we're seeing. A lot of women will go out, date a white guy, fail, then try to come back, and then say, I love you, black man. But why wasn't you saying that the whole time? You want to wait until now to say that. Anybody wonder why? Hold on. They updated the let me do this. There we go. So I'm gonna play that again. Modern women. Well, there's William. There he is. Modern women don't think they're the problem in relationships. Exactly my point. Because there's two people in a relationship and men do stuff just like women do. But here's the logic. It's okay when a woman does it, but it's not okay when a man does it. That's the double standard between men and women. What I call the double standard dilemma, which we're going to get into right now. I want to get into the double standard dilemma. So, or the double standard effect. I'm sorry, I got it wrong. So this is what I call the double standard effect. The media backs their crazy behavior by giving them excuses. Exactly. And it's all by design because society allows it, media allows it, people allow it, other women allow it. And this is why we have the double standard effect. This is what I call the double standard effect. Let me zoom in so everybody can see it. All right, so the double standard effect. What is that? This is something that I came up with because I was thinking about double standards all day. What is the double standard effect? It's the thought process of when Oh, okay. It's the thought process of women that says it's only okay when women do it. And if men do it too, it's bad. Double standards affect relationships and everyone's way of life. If women truly wanted gender equality, which we know they don't, they should have the same and equal judgment that men get. And I forgot to play a video because I know there's some black women in here that love black men, but there's a lot of black women that lust after white men. So I took the liberty of creating this video, and I hope I can find it. Hold on, I'm gonna find, because it's a funny video, so I want to play it. Where is it? Here we go. This is fun. This is dedicated to women that lust after white men, knowing that you have a 0.05% chance of dating a white guy. This is for you.
Run.
And then you have the SpongeBob. I need it. You remember that SpongeBob episode where he was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. I've known some women who are downright evil, yet always manage to play innocent. They can even crown demand. The theatrics are hysterical. They lie so much they actually believe themselves. Exactly. Because this is why the double standard exists. Because women lie to themselves so much about what's really going on. And it's insane. Running hard to find her gun. I'm gonna play that one more time because it's hilarious. Right. They turn on the faucet to win their argument. Exactly. They use shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right in order to always be right. When in reality, a lot of women, they're wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. But let's not skip over the fact that women can be wrong, and sometimes women are wrong, and that's okay. So going back to, let me remove this. They also get in between people and yeah, exactly. And that's that masculinity. Because you'll go on social media and you'll see women fighting other women, throwing French fries, breaking people's car windows, keying other people's cars. And it's like, that's masculine energy. And a lot of women in today's society are masculine. A lot of them are masculine. Exactly. There are a lot of masculine women. So, all right, double standards, they should get the same judgment. They get away with it because they're women. They realize right, exactly. Men, we have to take accountability. Women can get away with lack of accountability. So, how women are looking at me right now, angry Kirby. I know there's some women that are lurking, watching this in an incognito window on Google Chrome, and you're looking at me just like this Kirby. You're looking at me. We see you. That's Kiki, right. Right, that's Kiki. That is Kiki. All right, so if women focus on their career, because this is what women like to say, the lies they tell. If women focus on their career, bad. Men focus on their career, good. And you see the bad, and then you see the good. I think you're going to like the next slide. Women getting nasty, bad. Women getting nasty, bad. Men getting nasty, good. You see him with the thumbs up? He's like, I did it. Like the thumbs up. But we're going to get into why these are alleged double standards. And a lot of the times women create these double standards without them even knowing it. Right. If a man can handle all his needs, he's not called a strong, independent man. It's just called being an adult. If women didn't need a man, why do they keep taking advantage of them? Because they keep taking advantage of women. They keep taking advantage of men. Because the truth of the matter is that most women are not independent women. They're just not. Women don't make a lot of money anyway. 300,000 black women are now out of the workforce, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And now we're seeing an influx of women saying, I love black men. But in the beginning of this year, they weren't saying that. But now all of a sudden, you lose 300K jobs. You keep getting, right, independent, dependent on the government. Exactly. You lose 300K jobs. You keep taking L's. The whole second part of the year, black women have been taking L after L after L after L. Maybe they'll treat us better. Hopefully they will. Sometimes people gotta get their tail handed to them a few times, and then maybe they'll listen. Because the thing about being independent is it was never the true design of a woman to be dependent on the government, dependent on a job, dependent on other people. It was always set up so that the woman can depend on the man and the man can take care of the woman. But when you don't do that and you deviate from a plan that works, this is what happens. This is exactly what happens when you deviate from a plan that works. So, when a man has kids, good. It's good to see a single man with kids. But when you have a woman that has kids and she's single, that's bad. Now, let me explain why that is. If you've lived any amount of time and done any amount of life living, you always hear from women. Women say that if a man has kids and he takes care of his kids, he's going to take care of me. I've heard that my entire life from women. Same thing with getting nasty. If a man has 20 sexual partners, he's experienced and he knows what he's doing, and I don't have to teach him anything. So women reward men sleeping around. Women reward men with kids and they're single. But then they get demonized for doing the exact same thing. But here's the caveat. Men run the dating market, not women. So that's why women get mad when they get told you can't do something because it makes you look like a 304. It makes you look irresponsible. It makes you look like an undesirable woman, because it kind of does. But women don't see it like that because they're thinking with emotion rather than logic. And that's why we have a double standard as well, because society itself rewards women for doing whatever they want, and then it punishes men for doing the exact same thing. If a woman has PTSD, the world sympathizes. If a man has PTSD, he's just supposed to tough it out and be a man. Exactly. The world treats women better than the world treats men. And that's been going on since the dawn of time. Men say, what do you bring to the table? That's wrong. I am the table. Everybody watching this video right now has heard a woman or a group of women say this. I am the table. Which is the most illogical thing any woman can ever say. I am the table. That puts you in a masculine role. And then the last slide before we get into the video, women, I want a provider. Women want a provider man fast. Find a provider man fast. So it's okay for a woman to say, I want a provider, but it's not okay. She is the ball and chain. Exactly. A woman can say what she wants anytime a man says what he wants. A woman shuts his hey down. Exactly. That's the point. It's and then that's why I always say gender equality is a lie. There's no such thing as gender equality. Because if we really had gender equality, we wouldn't be told to tough it out and be a man, and women wouldn't be cuddled, comforted, and consoled whenever they go through something. Now we're gonna watch a video, and this video it's a short video, but he goes in depth into what I call the double standard. Even though he's talking about women being 304s, this still can apply to just about all situations. They don't want equality, they want government mandated superiority. Exactly. Because if they wanted equality, they wouldn't be doing any of this right now. They really wouldn't. Because somebody that want, and see, that's why I get on to the feminists so hard. Shout out to the feminists that are watching. This is why I get into the feminist tale so much, because they claim they want equality, but in reality, they just hate men. They do. A lot of women, feminists, rad femme, pro-black women, white women, a lot of women just hate men. And that's sad. It's like, right. No one is there to tell them that their behavior is unacceptable. They always blame the man. Exactly. And then when you do tell them that their behavior is unacceptable, you always get pushback. Well, it's not all men. Well, it's always a man. That's the famous line that a lot of feminist women say. It's not always a man. I mean, it's not all men, but it's always a man. It might not be all men, but it's always a man. All men till it's no man. But you can't say that. That's a logical fallacy. So we're going to get into this video. Definitely pay attention to it, because we're going to be breaking down the tenets of wisdom in this video. And if you just joined the stream, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe on your way in. And here's the video. Y'all might have seen it or heard of this channel, but the video, he breaks everything down to a T. Let's get it.
A woman sleeps with 100 men.
Gross.
You call her a whatever you want to say.
Maybe on the internet. In real life, we just stop responding.
A woman sleeps with her man 100 times. She's loyal. She's wifey. She's whatever you weirdos want to say.
Also, fair use. Just want to put that out there. Fair use. Fair use.
What is the difference?
One of them is a
I don't know.
I'm sorry. That was hilarious. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, but that was funny.
Like, are y'all just that stupid. I don't know. I want to hear it from like a dumbass.
She looks prehistoric. Right. She looks prehistoric. Shogo says she is pretty. I highly disagree. No, absolutely not.
Standpoint.
Oh, well, from a dumbass standpoint, being a skank makes you disgusting, but you already know we feel that way. That's why you made your video. Misunderstandings like this one are getting more and more common. If you want to understand why, you need to look at every issue from every angle. That's how I use Ground News, this video's sponsor. If you want to follow along, click the link or scan here. When you complain about dating as much as I do, a lot of people will say things like, skill issue, like it's your fault and the world hasn't changed around you. But this article about Bumble restructuring because users are sick of it has 129 sources on Ground News, and they're all in the center.
All right, let's skip that. All right, back to the video.
From like a dumbass standpoint.
So let me give you less of a dumbass answer. When someone doesn't like something, that's the end of the conversation.
Exactly. Write that down. Write that down, Chad. When somebody doesn't like something, that is the end of the conversation. Get a pen. I want y'all to take notes. Take some notes. When somebody doesn't like something, that is the end of the conversation. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no maybes, no can we do this. If somebody doesn't like something, that's it. Let's continue.
I don't know who told you that you're in charge of my feelings, but it's not, it physically doesn't work that way. Reality doesn't have room for that. These are drawings of boundaries. I draw this over and over. This was the first one I ever made. The yellow is a public space that they both are in. That's a bar. And so it's okay for the guy to start talking to the girl. But then when she says, no, don't do that anymore, she's exerting a new boundary. And if he continues to do it, that's a boundary violation. So what you are doing when you tell me what should be in my feelings is, hang on, I have to make a new one. There you go. You're thought policing. You're taking.
There it goes. I'm going to let him cook because he's cooking right now.
Taking your perceptions and feelings on the inside and telling me that they should also be mine, and you don't get to do that. So you can tell people not to do bad things to you. Like, for example, don't play music when I'm trying to sleep, but you cannot take your feelings and say, stop liking music. You are not the police of how I feel. So I'm not saying that boys are in charge and we make the way things are. What I'm saying is God is in charge. We all like what we like and don't like what we don't like, and we have to deal with the way things are. So you can't just tell men you have to like promiscuous women. It just doesn't work that way. Let me show you why.
And see, I'm glad he brought this up because this is logic. And what he's saying is that just because you think something is right doesn't mean it's right. That's just what you think. You can think that being sexually promiscuous is right, but that doesn't mean it's right. Because you can't, because what women typically do is they will try to thought police you into thinking like them. I think this is right. Men are entitled to like what they want to and not want to like, that's okay, but don't shame the women who are this, because that's equally as wrong. Well, it's not about shame, because men, see, the thing is, we'll get into it in the video too, but the problem is that men have already said, okay, we don't like promiscuous women. But what women do is they will try to convince the men to like promiscuous women. And then the women will try to shame you for not liking promiscuous women. And they'll call you names. They'll be like, oh, you're, because I can't say that word on YouTube, but they'll say that you're like this. They'll say that you're DL. They'll say all types of stuff against you because you don't like who they are. And what's going on in the dating market is that, yeah, what you said, I'm going to put that on the screen because I can't say that on YouTube. That's what women will call men. Women who think this way got this attitude that you're lucky just to have them give you the time of day. Exactly right. And that's a big blank no for the promiscuous dote. Exactly. Because the thing is that we tell women, okay, we don't want a promiscuous woman. Women would then turn around and call us every name in the book, say that we're a danger to them, say that we hate them because we don't conform to their thought policing. And you'll see that as we go through the video. So let's go back to the video and I'm going to let him cook some more.
Imagine that you go outside and you go for a walk and you see that somebody did not clean up after their dog. So
I see that all the time. And if you're one of those people that go outside and walk your dog and don't clean up, there's a special place in AG double hockey stick waiting for you. I cannot stand when people do that. Superiority complex. Exactly. Women always have you have to do what I say, but then if you tell me anything, if you tell me to do anything, oh no, you're controlling, you're manipulating, you're violating me, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I'm like, all I did was say, can you do the dishes? And women will act like it's World War III.
they felt like not cleaning up on the inside. And
okay, follow it. You felt like, write that down. You felt. Because I want you to remember when you talk to people, they will tell you how they feel. But how you feel is not 100% what's happening. Because you can feel that you're hungry, but are you really hungry, or do you just feel hungry? There's a woman's wishes and feelings, but then there's reality. Exactly. A lot of women, they don't live in reality. How the sisterhood feels? Exactly. They feel exactly like this. They live in their own bubble. They are absent from reality. and they really don't care. They're like, I'm going to do what I want, and then you have to accept it.
And then they put that into the space that you share. How do you feel about that? Do you like it? Probably not. Can you change it? Can you just go, oh, great, I'm going to rub this in my eyes? Of course not. That's just how you feel. Now, what if I made a TikTok nagging you about it? This question is for the people who don't like dog shit. Okay, let's say I walk my dog and I pick it up and throw it away. You say that's a good thing. Now let's say I bring my dog to your house and he on your pillow. Suddenly that's a bad thing? What is the difference? So you see, I'm thought policing you. There's something I want you to like, and I'm telling you, you should like what I tell you to like. Did it work? Man, I sure hope not.
I like when you said, did it work? Because it never works. Thought policing never works. And he's going to go into what I always deal with on Twitter and on social media. And it's all going to come together. So let's continue.
Not. In fact, it probably made you like me even less because
Exactly. Because when you try to thought police people, that causes them to not like you. And then you're sitting here like, why doesn't anybody like me? Because you try to force other people to like and do what you want them to do. Simps are wimps on a leash who don't mind being treated like garbage. Dog-ish is better than a woman's drama. Exactly. They really are. And the simps are a big issue. And then there's the women that abuse and take advantage of simps that are on the other side. And I want you to pay attention to what he's saying.
if I want to put something bad in your life and you don't want it, then you will not like me. This is an exercise I created called the association triangle. It shows how people create feelings in general. And what you just said to us is that if you want to sleep with 100 guys and then another guy likes you after that, then you want him to be okay with this.
And see, this logic can be universal. This is logic for any situation. Because what women and people typically do is they want other people to think like them. This is why so many people on social media are always fighting every 5 seconds. I tried simping to save my marriage and ended in complete disaster. Simps never win. Simps never win. And this is why so many people on social media fight tooth and nail every single day. It's because you're trying to get other people you don't even know to like and do what you want them to do, instead of understanding, okay, why are they saying this? Why do they feel this way? Why do they do this? Why do they believe this? And then meet in the middle and compromise. Respect yourself or no one will. Exactly. Because that ties in with what we're saying. If you don't respect your own self, how is anybody else going to respect you? If you don't love yourself, how is anybody else going to love you? If you don't pour into yourself, how are people going to pour into you? And see, what women do a lot is they come to men as empty, broken vessels, and they're expecting to be poured into, to be fixed, to be polished, to be painted, to be reglossed, put back together. And we're like, no. We want you to come home just like you get on social media all the time and say, I want a whole man. So you can't say you want a whole man and you're not even a whole woman. That's not going to work.
But we're not okay with it. Men really hate this. In fact, most of us are gonna hate this more than we like you. So instead of feeling good about your choices, we're going to feel bad about you. Because you just said, hey, here's something that you hate. Let me rub it in your eyes. I know you wanted the dumbass answer. Sorry about the smart answer. I hope you didn't hate it too much because it's just going to get less dumb. Even though the answer I just gave you was good enough that what other people like is none of your business, I'm also going to tell you why we don't like
the right man will help you. What is
it.
the right man will help you in loving yourself, not saying that it insists responsibility. But the right man will encourage you to love yourself, or they will just make you fall more in love with you. I mean, it really depends, because you have to understand that if you can't love yourself and you don't know how to love yourself, when somebody tries to help you do something, you're going into the situation blind. So it's just like, I love to use the example of a car. If you don't know how to drive a car and you've never driven before, and I'm trying to teach you how to drive a 5-speed automatic with a clutch and something else, you're not going to be able to learn how to drive a manual transmission car. It's going to be tough. But if you come into the situation and you're like, you know what, I don't fully love myself, but I've worked on myself and I know the basics. I know how to do it. I just need a little bit of encouragement. That's more feasible. Let's continue. And this is what I wanted. This is the meat of the show tonight. Do my choices matter? And I hope there's a feminist in here. And I hope there's a pro-black woman or a misandrist or somebody that done blocked me on Twitter in here, because this part of the show is dedicated to choices have consequences. I want you to write that down. Choices have consequences. And your choices are your own choices. I want you to write that down. Write that down. My choices have my own individual consequences. All right, let's go.
Did you speak Chinese today by any chance? Probably not. You spoke English yesterday, so you'll speak English today and probably tomorrow. Have you ever eaten the same food more than once? Probably. It would be too hard to just change that up every day. So there are a lot of things that you do over and over. And if one of the things you do over and over is change the guy you're sleeping with, you're probably going to keep doing that too. If I know that you have been with one guy for a long time, then in the future, you probably will be with one guy for a long time. But if I know that you switch guys often, this is about once every 3.2 days, then in the future, you will probably switch guys often. And again, we don't like that, and we're not arguing about it. We do not want to spend time and money on you if you are just gonna switch guys. It's weird that I have to tell you this. People don't like cheating, and if you switch guys a lot, you're more likely to cheat. Women love to say, trust me. Ignore my behavior. I am wife material.
I want to stop right there. So Shogun said this is why they need to heal, but at the end of the day, a partner's encouragement will definitely help a person along in their journey. It's not the partner's full responsibility, but it helps. That's true. I can get behind that. That's a very good statement. So I want to replay what he just said, just in case you didn't hear it the first time.
If you are just gonna switch guys. It's weird that I have to tell you this. People don't like cheating, and if you switch guys a lot, you're more likely to cheat. Women love to say, trust me. Ignore my behavior. I am wife material. But why would we trust you if you are the least trustworthy kind of person?
And see, that's it. And that ties into what William just said. We are obligated to accept all their faults and never to criticize, even though they don't have any at all, supposedly. We as men are nothing but flawed according to the current cultural consensus. It's like we're wrong, we're bad, women are angels, women don't have any flaws. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We judge you by your choices. Your past will always matter. I want you to write that down. Your past always matters. Why? Because if you don't know someone, what else do you have to go on? If you're meeting a guy for the very first time, you don't know him. So the only thing that you have to go on is his past, his accomplishments, his record, his responsibilities. When you meet a woman for the first time, you don't know her. The only thing you can do is reference her past. How many people has she slept with? How many bad relationships has she been through? What was the nature of those relationships? Right, there are many women out here who have nothing but a past. And that's true. Nothing but a past. And it's not all good. But it's a past. But let's not talk about the past. Let's focus on the future. But when you try to get a job, let's say you're going to a job interview. They don't know him. All they know is you applied for the job. But what are they going to use to qualify to see if you can get this job? Your past. They're going to use your past. They're going to use your accomplishments. They're going to say you have a degree. When did you get your degree? You just got a certification. You just got this. You just got that. You've been working here for 2 years. Then you switched jobs and you worked somewhere else. But tell me about the 3 years you were unemployed, because they're gonna ask you about it. Dating is the exact same way. We can only go by your past, because the thing is that people say that they're gonna change, but let's be honest, most people don't. And if you've been a promiscuous woman, or you've had terrible relationships one after the other, at some point you gotta say, maybe I need to change. Maybe it's not them, maybe it's me. And that's what we say to women all the time. Especially shout out to the feminists that are watching. See, a lot of women that hate men, they hate men based on their own experiences. So again, you're using your past experiences, your past issues with men to judge your future. That's why feminists and people that hate men are all the same. They have the same argument, the same outlook, and the same talking points. Because they're using their past. Every woman I ever met is always dogging on her ex and what a horrible person he was. That constant and complete deflection and blame shifting sends up more red flags than a Chinese army. And that's true. Because people blame shift. They're like, he did this, he did that, he did this, he's doing that. What are you doing? What if he's doing stuff in response to what you're doing? And then you're blaming the man instead of saying, you know what? Maybe if I cook him dinner, he'll be nicer. Maybe if I clean up the house before he gets home, he'll want to do stuff with me. Maybe if I don't nag him, I'll get what I want. The females all have right. They do. They have similar stories. It's always, my ex was bad and I was good and we didn't work out and the whole 9 yards. But why is it always the man's fault? Why is it that women never shoulder any of the blame, any of the criticism, any of the contempt, any of the accountability? It's always the man. Because they hate being told what to do, they hate accountability, and they only want to point the finger at men. That's it. As long as that finger is pointing at men, they're okay. Because as a society, that's what we're taught. You're right. We are taught that. We're taught to respect women, love women, treat women nice. But then we're also taught to shoulder all the blame, do all the stuff. And it's like, no. All right, back to the video.
Cheaters don't say, I'm gonna cheat on you. They say, trust me. Everyone says, trust me. So how do we know who the cheaters are? Well, we have to observe your behavior. This is the behavior cube. This is the church club axis. That's where you choose to spend your time. This is the modest independent axis. That's how you present yourself to the world. And this is the loyalty axis. That's how you've behaved towards men in the past. Number of guys is a big sign. The more you have, the dumber it is to trust you. Not everyone with a high body count will cheat, but more of them will. You can see here that marriage gets less stable as body count goes up. And yeah, sometimes people change, but not usually. This story down here is one time I got to my Motel 6 at 11:30 p.m. and some fairly cute girl saw me in the lobby and chased me to my car because I was once attractive. And she gave me a palm reading, and I said, this is most likely a bad idea, and I didn't do it. And that was new for me at the time. That is change, and most people don't. So if I'm going to offer you commitment, which is expensive, I need to know I can trust you, which I judge by looking at your choices, because there's no other way.
Exactly. Your choices. You are judged by your choices. And this is what I always say. Actions have choices. Choices have consequences. So if your actions result in choices, who has to deal with those choices? You do. So it's not called cheating. She's just bettering herself. My point exactly. And cheating is a choice. And choices have consequences. So let's use a famous example and shout out to all the women watching the replay or the stream right now. If a woman leaves her house and she's wearing half to nothing, or she posts half naked pictures and videos online, that is a choice. So that choice has consequences. Write that down. Choices have consequences. You, as the individual, decided to post pictures online. When you do that, you invite bad people to come to your page and lust after you, and then you get bad comments on your video or photo. Right, she be like, you can't tell me what to do. That's the sign of a masculine woman. And the same women that will say, you can't tell me what to do, are the same women that will cry if a man sends her a pic of his private parts in her inbox. But you ignore the fact that you're getting that private pic because you decided to post a lewd photo or a video online, which opens the door to lewd photos being sent to you without your consent. You can't open Pandora's box and then complain when things come out of it that you can't handle. And that's what women need to understand. If you make a choice, then you have to deal with the consequence. Not you make a choice and then every single man on the planet has to deal with your choices. No. That's not how it works. Men are not responsible for you. We are responsible for ourselves. Now, if you're in a relationship with a man or you're married to a man, right, you give respect, you get respect. That's how it is. Exactly. And a lot of women or disrespect, or they're not going to give you respect. But they want you to respect them because you're a woman. No, we don't do that. In order to get respect, you have to give. There's that G word that women hate. You have to give in order to get. Life is like a bank account. You only get what you give. So if you're giving somebody bad things, or you're nagging them, or you're not listening to them, or you're annoying them, or you're doing things that doesn't contribute to them, you're going to get that in return. And then you wonder why you're in the shape that you're in now. Because of what you get. Because of what you give. If you put in nice things, you're going to get nice things in return. Accountability is called a... Right. Exactly. It's like, don't do that. Don't. And then, hold on. Let me see if I can find this video file real quick. Because I forgot to put this in. Here we go. I got it. The M word. I can't put it in there. Let me see if I can. Why can't I put it in there? Let me see if I can put this in.
The YouTube video up. All right, go, Lil Ray.
Micah! Bro, what the fuck, bro? Bro! What the fuck y'all do? I don't know. What the fuck y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
I had to put that in there. But it's the patriarchy's fault. Misogyny. That's what they would say. Misogyny. But in a perfect world, we're in a matriarchy. Especially with the black community, we're in a matriarchy. So if we're in a matriarchy, then how can it be the patriarchy's fault? But that's a way out. Continuing on with this video.
Made a lot of bad ones, then I at least need to see that you've changed, and that takes more than 3.2 days. So body count is not everything, especially if she's honest about it and she hasn't done it in a while, and also, maybe you're not perfect either. But I will never give any of my time or money to someone who says my past doesn't matter. Because what we did before, we will do again.
Exactly. Those are key words they use to control the community. Exactly. And I like what he said. He said, what we do before, we will do again. Red flags. And women love to tell on themselves. Women are like, well, I didn't know these red flags. Okay, so if people really don't change, and you can't get to know somebody without learning about their past, because your past defines your present, and your present defines your future. And if you don't learn from your past, you're doomed to repeat it. This is what's going on. So many people are still living out their past. They're living out that past life. And then they're stuck in the past that can't go forward in the present, which destroys their future.
And the more you do it, the less you're likely to stop, so the past doesn't just disappear. And tomorrow, today will be the past. So today doesn't matter? My behavior doesn't matter? Ignore my behavior? I'm gonna be here, but treat me like I'm here? No one wants to buy a ring for someone who says, "Don't judge my behavior." Because you don't have to say that unless you know it's bad. That's why any variation of "my choices don't matter" is one of the biggest red flags there is. Also nose rings and whatever this is.
Are y'all just that stupid?
My choices don't matter is the same thing as I am the table.
Uh-oh. Where the women at? Where the women that say I'm the table? Where they at? I am the table. Cause it's women always say that. Right. Maybe she didn't walk out of a relationship. Maybe she threw her ex under the bus. Probably so. Because we have to understand how women think. And women think with delusion, feelings, and no logic. Even when they say they're logical, they can only be so logical before their feelings take over.
It means I get what I want and shut up about what you want. I'm here, aren't I? My choices don't matter comes in many forms. It might sound like my past doesn't matter. It could be what's the difference between one guy and 100. It could be what I wear doesn't define me. That's what these girls said. Just because I dress this way doesn't mean I'm not wife material, even though dressing this way leads to attention and attention leads to temptation. And no one is immune to temptation, it's just a matter of chance. And you know all that, and you chose to dress this way, and your choices define you.
Your choices define you. You as a woman are defined by your choices. So if you decide to post a half-naked video on Twitter with your private part out, that defines you. That tells the world that you're a bleep, that you're an H word. So you can't complain when people treat you like a 304 when that's what you chose to present yourself as. That's all I'm saying. That's all men have been saying to women for years and years and years and years. If she can lie to and convince everyone of everything she tells them, it makes all those lies more believable to her. Narcissistic women literally rewrite history. And that's very true because women lie to themselves and then they lie to other people. So they try to convince the world that I'm this innocent bystander, and then men are all bad, evil, misogynistic, and they hate women. But in reality, you're the issue. You're the problem. You're the reason why your relationship failed. You're the reason why you hate men. Because when you had a man, you didn't treat him right, or you didn't know how to treat him, So it's like you're defined by your choices.
In other words, just because I behave this way doesn't mean I behave this way. That's why she's got deception eyes. And you don't have to listen to that. If you are a younger guy with less experience, you've probably been told all your life to just be nice, just be yourself, and society says girls are nice and you have to be nice to them, otherwise you're being controlling and that's abusive, and that can be confusing. Because it doesn't feel like you're being abusive, it feels like you're being abused, because sometimes you are. Some women will just lie to you to see if you're smart enough to catch them lying, and if you're not, then they don't like you. They will do things you should not be okay with and then tell you to be okay with them, like this, trust me. So these girls said dressing like this doesn't mean they're not wife material, but the more skin they show and the more often they go out, the more attention they'll get, and the more they drink, the less they'll resist it, and so the chances of something bad happening get higher and higher.
Exactly. Most are on a mission to destroy the community. Having multiple baby dads ensures an inbred community, have siblings, having relations with, especially down south. They do that a lot down south. But lying, cheating, and manipulating is how they get what they want. And whenever they don't get what they want, it's always somebody else's fault. Exactly. Whenever, and pay attention to the last part, whenever they don't get what they want, it's always somebody else's fault. It's never their own fault. They never sit down and take accountability and say, well, maybe I didn't get this because of me. Maybe my thing didn't work. Maybe it's not working because of me. Maybe I need to fix myself so that I can stop hating men all day and being a feminist and pouring hate about men online. Maybe it's me because I'm not right. A narcissistic female. Excuse me, a narcissistic female can never love him. Right. A narcissistic woman is never going to love anybody because they can't. They don't even love themselves. And then they gaslight you. They make you feel that you're the issue when the whole time it's them. And then they'll play mind games with you. And then they'll say, well, why don't you believe me? And it's like, because you are a narcissist.
And then they say, just because I'm maximizing the chances of bad behavior doesn't mean I'm not wife material, even though wife material is someone who minimizes the chances of bad behavior. So you see what I mean over here. There's her visible behavior, which is easy to judge, and then there's this secret, cloudy, trust me, in the mystery zone. I can do all the bad things and still be good. Ignore my behavior. And this girl said, 1 guy, 100 guys, what does it matter? Well, what matters is I don't want to be this guy.
Right. I was engaged to a narcissistic woman 28 years ago. She has been divorced 3 times since then. I feel you. I feel you. Because a lot of women just need to, a lot of women, if they just look at themselves in the mirror and said, it's me, the world would be a better place. Because you can't go through life blaming another gender for your own issues. And a lot of women will do that. They'll say, well, it's his fault the relationship didn't work. It's his fault that things blew up. It's his fault because my needs weren't being met. It's his fault that he didn't do X, Y, and Z. It's his fault. But then she's like a truck just running good men over. Right. Exactly. Like, yeah, she's like a truck just running good men over all day, every day. I keep thinking about Optimus Prime, where he's like, Autobots, roll out. And then instead of Autobots, it's like, bad women, roll out. Let's find a lucky sucker and mess their lives up. And that's what he's saying in the video. Her heart is made of parts that come from a septic tank. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, Optimus. I'm a huge fan of Optimus Prime. A huge Optimus Prime fan. And that's what we're saying. It's like, we can only go by your behavior. If you post half-naked pictures on the internet, you get called a 304, then you get mad at the man or the people, but you don't get mad at yourself for posting the photo. Or let's say you're in a relationship and the relationship failed. Well, why did it fail? The man did something, but the woman did too. And a lot of, right, modern women are Decepticons. Right, we're the Autobots. We're the positive black man. And modern women are Decepticons. They're trying to destroy us. And that's how women are. It's like, that's the part that people don't understand. They don't understand. They don't get it. They don't care. Because we can only judge you by your behavior. So what does your action show? Are you an honest woman? Are you friendly? Are you kind? Or are you naggy? Are you unable to be instructed? Or are you just bitter and hateful? Your choices have consequences and only you have to live with them.
I don't want to be guy number 99 buying you flowers 3.2 days before guy number 100 shows up. So look out for my choices don't matter. I didn't do what I did. It doesn't mean what it means. Trust my words, not my actions. That is only a test. And if you don't trust her, she'll say this.
Are y'all just that stupid?
But if you do trust her, she'll say this.
Are y'all just that stupid?
So don't trust someone in the bad cube. Just find someone in the good cube. Small announcement for those of you who watched.
And that's my point. God created a man first because he didn't want a woman telling him how to do it. Right. And if you also know, there's the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and all three are men. And then it's like, the more you understand women, the more you will understand how much women lie to themselves. And when you understand how much women lie to themselves, you will understand that 99% are delusional. And there's 1% that aren't. But then the 1%, there are some good women out here. I interact with plenty of good women on social media, but they still don't outnumber the women that are bad. And that's why when people ask me, oh, you hate women, you hate them, you wish all women bad and all women this. Like, I don't hate women. I don't like the bad women because the bad women are an influence to the good ones. And the bad women will teach the good women to be just like them. If you, and I always use this example, if you eat fruit, if you eat vegetables, any type of produce, if you have one rotten strawberry, the rest of the strawberries will be rotten. If you have one rotten apple, the rest of the apples will eventually get rotten. What does that mean? That means that you have to get rid of the bad so that the good doesn't get corrupted by the bad. Right, sisterhood, peer pressure, and that's what it is. I've got to pressure you into hating men because that's what I do. I hate men, you have to hate men too. The thought police, that's what it is. They're policing women's thoughts. The broad in the video was better because guys aren't in the blockade. Right, exactly. Men aren't in the blockades. And lastly, because I know I've been on here almost 2 hours and it's almost 7, but I'm going to say this. Actions have choices and choices have consequences, and they're all yours. You are responsible for you, or rectangle heads. Or blockheads. Like yeah, or blockheads. That blockhead comment made me think of Charlie Brown, where he would always be called a blockhead. But it's choices have choices have consequences. Actions have choices. Choices have consequences. And only you deal with them. You cannot control anybody but you. You cannot control your husband, your wife, your children, the school teacher, the principal at your school, the pastor at church, the people that you work with. Anybody outside of you is outside of your control. The only person that you can really control is yourself. It's just like driving. You aren't driving for you. You're driving for other people because you got to watch out for other people. You got to check your mirrors before you turn. You got to check the back mirror, the side mirrors. Modern women are extremely jealous of happily married women. They sure are. And they always will be. And you know why? Because they're jealous of happily married women. Because they know deep down in their hearts, they're never going to be one. They'll never get married. They'll never have a family. They'll just be an old, bitter baby mom with 2 baby dads and a house full of cats. And that's it. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate all of you for coming out to the stream. Don't forget to hit that like on your way out. Share the video with somebody that you think is going to need it. And I'll be dropping more content. I'm probably going to go live on Friday night. Definitely come back for that. It's going to be a Friday stream, probably starting around 5 or 6. And we're going to go live again, talk about another topic. I'm going to drop content tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Probably a few shorts. Appreciate you, Roger. Always good to see you. And anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then tickle that notification bell that will let you know every time I upload content. This is me, your host, Thomas, signing. Been missing you, Mr. Bland. Great to see you. Definitely. I'm going to do more live shows because I want to grow the channel. And I've actually been watching other content creators and they go live to grow their channel. So I'm like, I have enough videos. I have almost 500 uploaded videos now, but I only have like a small number of live shows. So I'm going to really focus on going live more and then editing the live content in the short form. So that's where I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be going more live than putting out content because I understand the power of having a live show. And I'm also going to try to get the, I don't know if y'all have heard about that therapist, Jeffrey St. James. I would love to have him come on the channel. I'm going to be reaching out to him probably in a month to see if I can get an interview with him. But if you have any content creator that, or if you know of anybody that's willing to do like an interview or a panel live show, give them my information, tell them to reach out, and I'll be definitely open to doing panel shows. And if any of the viewers want to do a panel show and you want to get on camera and chop it up, I'm always open to that. And until the next video, peace.
Hype.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong. Rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more.
Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brother, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to